Welcome back inside the Overland Park Convention Center. We're in Overland Park, Kansas for the Monster Games 2026. My name is B.friendly. For the third time today, we got the elite athletes taking the competition floor. They're on floor number 2, taking on Dirty Fran. Fran, of course, one of the landmark workouts in competitive fitness. Today they got 21-15-9 on the thrusters, 95 pounds for the men, 75 for the women, and then 360 feet lengths of sandbag carry with a stress bag, which just means that they have to have it in the bear. The time cap will hit for heat number 1. And Maggie Sullivan, I believe, had the time to beat there, 325-ish, that's what we'll call it. Heat 1 of the women has wrapped up. Heat 2 coming up next. It's a pretty quick one.
Of America, the World Fitness Project is finally here in Indianapolis. Welcome to Grand Park Sports Campus.
Apologies for the audio issues early on there. And I took a look at the commercial in between heats. WFP, the World Fitness Project's coming to Grand Park, Indianapolis in the Midwest at the end of August. So you can grab tickets and go there and see some of the best in the world at the final tour stop before the tour finals in Copenhagen later this year. An incredible field of athletes that will be descending into Westfield, Indiana as they vie for positions in the top 30 and try to qualify for the finals. Heat 2 for the ladies, making their way out into floor number 2 inside the Overland Park Convention Center here. In lane 1, we're going to have Lindsay Smith. Logan Eden will be in lane 2. Harley Turney in 4. Ashton Anderson in 5. Caitlin Sanders in 6. Michaela McCarty in 7. Addie Hendry in 8. And Savannah Johnson will be in lane 9. Addie Hendry currently sitting 4th overall. Caitlin Sanders sitting in 7th. Everyone's trailing Olivia Geisthardt at the moment. We'll see her in the final heat. Task at hand here is Dirty Fran. 21:15.9. Thrusters at 75 pounds. And 3-2-1 lengths of the sandbag carry with 150 pounds in the bear hug position. That's what stress carry means in Jacob Hepner language. Each of those lengths is 30 feet down, 30 feet back. Pretty standard. You got to start behind the line, get across the line with both feet. You can drop it or turn around at that point. If for some reason you were to fail the sandbag in the middle of a 30-foot section, that's kind of worst case scenario in this one. You'd have to pick it up, take it back to where you started, pick it up again, or turn around and take it down. And heat 2 underway. They'll step forward and get into those 21 thrusters. And it's going to be fast. Maggie Sullivan just turned 18 years old. She's got the early score to beat, about 325. And I'm really not expecting any breaks on the barbell here. The sandbag was definitely slowing down a couple of the women. So being able to get a great purchase on it, get it up into the comfortable position in your chest, and then hopefully not drop that thing is going to be the recipe for success. It looked like Lindsay Smith was amongst the early leaders as the athletes pretty much all finish up and head out on their carry for the first time. 3 down and backs here with the 150-pound bag. Just like last week, this competition, or this stream, is presented by Herd Athletics. Herd Athletics, big supporter of athletes up and down the East Coast, across the U.S. For limited quantities of the latest gear, scan the QR code. If you use Monster Games 2026 at checkout, you can save 15% off your entire order. Head over to Herd Athletics and see what they got going on. Great supporter of athletes in the competitive fitness world. First 3 lengths of the sandbag carry going down, and I think lane 1, Lindsay Smith there in the white t-shirt, was the first one off the thrusters in round 1 and the first one back with the carry. So looking good on both parts of this couplet. All these athletes already took on the vertical jump, the broad jump this morning on our first stream, and then Everybody Hates Hepner was the name of the workout they did around noon, and the 5 hours of rest that they were given after that. Much appreciated, as that workout left a lot of the athletes flat out on their back and legs feeling like jello. Sandbag overs and max calories on the C2 bike. Lindsay Smith, only athlete moving on her second round of sandbag carries. She'll have to go down and back twice here. Lane number 8, Addie Hendry, next one to move. Addie Hendry sitting in 4th place overall with 105 points. She's only 18.5 points out of the lead and only 3.5 points out of a podium position. Addie Hendry looked real good on the sandbag moves earlier today, so likely to move the sandbags pretty well here. A nice shot down the field. There's several athletes moving in round 2, while Lindsay Smith over there in lane number 1 is continuing to lead, and you see the clock on the screen there as it's ticking towards that 3:25 number, which we think is pretty close to what the time to beat for Maggie Sullivan was in the first heat. Lindsay Smith with the bag up for the final time here. Got to get across that line. She falls. The standard is that the bag has to get across the line. So the fact that her feet did not get across should not matter as long as the bag's across. And she raced to the finish line very close to Maggie Sullivan's time. That's going to be coming down to the stopwatches of the judges on the floor. You see Chris, the MC, they're heading over to check out what the exact result was. But the winners of both Heat 1 and 2 with relatively similar times. Most of the rest of the heat is working on that sandbag. Lane number 8, Addie Hendry gets across. Looks like lane 4, Carly Turner might have finished. Logan Eden hustling that bag over the line ahead of a couple other athletes down on the far side of the floor. About 40 seconds remaining in this second of 3 heats of elite women as they're taking on their final workout for day 1 of competition here at the Monster Games. Or second to last, actually. We have a bar muscle up, 2 minutes of max bar muscle ups coming up. Not too long after this stream concludes, so a couple of quick hitters to end the day after a grinder earlier. A few more athletes racing across the finish line. Maybe Caitlin Sanders and Michaela McCarty trying to squeeze underneath the time cap there. Second heat of elite women. Finish up Dirty Fran. Lindsay Smith in the neighborhood of Maggie Sullivan's time from heat number 1. Should be the top 2 athletes after 2 heats of competition. Final heat coming up. Final heat of elite women on the competition floor here for Dirty Fran. Emily Kaufman will be in lane 1. Natalie Brennan, lane 2. Amara Wiley in lane 3. Abby Schultz in 4. Olivia Giestart. Apologies for a quick disconnect there. Sorry about that. Emily Kaufman in 1, Natalie Brennan in 2, Amara Wiley in 3, Abby Schultz, lane 4, Olivia Giestart, current leader of the competition in 5, Morgan Petula 5 points back in 2nd place in 6. Lane 7 will be empty as Blair Cheney had to withdraw. Ellen Smith in lane 8, Vanessa Miller in lane 9, and Lexia Null in lane 10. Ellen Smith right there competing, 20 weeks pregnant. She's told me she's not planning to do any bar muscle-ups later today, but she'll do everything she can, likes the competition, likes to compete, and probably the last time she can do it for about a year. So taking advantage of the opportunity while she has it, and congratulations to her, of course. All the women working through the first 21 thrusters with that 75-pound barbell. And as long as you can, Natalie Brennan right there, quick pace, as long as you can handle the sandbag on the carry. You see those long arms of Brennan. Nice grab of the wrist. But Amara Wiley racing down the competition floor. She's on the right there in the camo. Overtaking. You see she's kind of leaning back a little bit, moving the feet very fast, hips forward. Everything about this carry from Amara Wiley is what you'd like to see. Time to beat on the screen there. Unofficially 3:20 from Lindsay Smith in the previous heat. Maggie Sullivan from Heat 1, a second or two behind that. And the leaders back to the barbell real quickly, immediately picking it up. 15 reps to go. Wiley done with those 15 thrusters. Immediately to the sandbag. Natalie Brennan right behind her. The all black is Morgan Petullo there. Wiley and Brennan rep for rep here on the final 9. About 50 seconds to that time to beat, and Wiley racing to the bag. This looks like it's going to be an event win for her. And there she is, dropping off the sandbag and racing to the finish line. Amara Wiley looks like she's going to take the win on Dirty Fran for the elite women here on Friday night in Kansas. Natalie Brennan should be right behind her. And finish her in the middle of the floor there. Maybe Olivia Giestart. Amara Wiley was sitting in 5th place with 94.25 points. Looking to climb up the leaderboard a little bit with a heat win there, and an event win on top of that. A few other athletes racing to the finish line, including Emily Kaufman there in lane 1 right in front of us. Vanessa Miller and Lexia Null out there. Lexia Null in the blue pants towards the back of this heat. She was actually towards the top of the leaderboard in 3rd place prior to this one. 2nd on the workout. Everyone hates Hepner for 92 points, going a long way. So they're really flexing the capacity on the bike. One less athlete out there working. And it is Ellen Smith. Got about 35 seconds remaining. Should be enough time for the sandbag. Carrying it in the bear hug carry. Being 20 weeks pregnant, probably a little more challenging than it would be otherwise. But she gets it nice and high, grabbing that wrist. Ellen Smith was third on that biking sandbag workout, and she'll finish this one under the time cap as well. So the elite women have completed Dirty Fran. Amara Wiley appears to have been the event winner. A nice workout for Natalie Brennan. Lindsay Smith out of Heat 2 and Maggie Sullivan out of Heat 1, also with some pretty competitive times. Looked like another top 5 finish for Olivia Giestart, most likely. We'll see how the leaderboard shakes out. We'll see these women in about an hour taking on the last workout of the day. But the elite men coming up next. It's the elite men's turn to take on Dirty Fran here. Third of fourth workouts for day one of competition at the 2026 Monster Games here in Overland Park, Kansas. They got 21-15-9 reps of thrusters at 95 pounds and 3-2-1 lengths of sandbag stress carries, bear hug carry, so you can't have it up on the shoulder. With a 200-pound sandbag, each carry is 30 feet down and 30 feet back, so 60 feet total per rep. In lane 1, we have Cavett Brunn. In lane 2, Nathan Vallejo. Jeff Verdon in lane 3. Kyle Pignatiello in 4. Cruz Vargas in 5. Judson Cole in lane 6. Brian Ford in 7. Mark Tabica in lane 8. Trayton Burrish in 9. And Nate Johnson in lane number 10. Mark Tabica sits 4th overall on the standings. He took a 4th place on the biking and sandbag workout earlier today. Look to see if he can back that up here. On the women's side, it wasn't necessarily a guarantee that because you were good at sandbags and bike that you'd be good at thrusters and sandbag carry. So clearly some different elements of fitness being tested across those two things. Only a 5-minute time cap here. It seemed like all the athletes on the women's side were able to get under that time cap. We'd expect the same here. Men in Heat 1 kicking things off. They'll head to that barbell for 21 reps on the thrusters. Should be probably done pretty quickly. Lane 10, closest to us there on the screen is Nate Johnson. Trayton Burrish, Mark Tabica as we work our way down. Nate Johnson, next highest rated athlete in this field, sitting in 11th overall. And he took a 13th on Everyone Hates Hepner earlier today. Mark's there in that kind of mustard yellow shirt. He's going to drop the barbell quickly and head to the sandbag. Experienced competitor, has competed at Monster Games before, but also several times in Wadapalooza. Only competes once or twice a year, but trains really hard and keeps himself fit. I think he's going to be looking to push into the final heat for tomorrow. All the guys working on the first round of the sandbag carry, 60 feet down and back counts as 1 rep, so 180 total feet here, and definitely is not the goal is not to drop the sandbag, basically. Mark Tabica able to complete all 3 lengths quickly. And about the 125 mark, he'll get his first thruster rep in the round of 15. Jeff Verdon may be second in the heat. He's in lane 3 down on the left side there. It's like majority of the men are working on that set of 15 thruster, but you see a hand up for Tabaka already. He'll drop the bar, step over it, and move forward, but Jeff Verdon may have caught up to him a little bit. So he was faster to get the bag up. Tabaka closer to us with those orange shoes. You see on the left side, that's Jeff that just got it up there as well. So Tabaka about a step or two ahead of Jeff Verdon. Both men have kind of pulled ahead of the heat here a little bit. Verdon sitting in 22nd, could really use a great performance here to catapult himself up the leaderboard. It's still very early in the competition. 3 days of competition here for these guys. Back to the thrusters for the final time, about the 2:45 mark. And first of 3 heats, these guys are looking to set a time for the next 2 heats to potentially chase down. Mark onto the sandbag once again at the 3-minute mark. 30 feet to go. All he's got to do is dump that sandbag over the line and sprint to the finish. As he does that, Jeff Verdon picks it up on the other side of the floor. So once again, top time in the first heat, Mark Tabaka, we'll call it 3:15 unofficial. As he continues to have an excellent first day of competition here. There is Jeff getting across, second in the heat. There's Kyle dropping the sandbag and taking a little rest. Saw Kyle last week at Metcon Rush. He's nursing a hamstring a little bit, but he loves competing, loves both these competitions, and finding a way to get it done. Lane number 10. Nate Johnson looks like he's going to get across close to 3:45 right there in front of us. Thanks for coming by earlier and saying hi. Couldn't tell if that was lane 5 or 6. Maybe Cruz Vargas getting in there. There's a lot of separation here in the first heat. It's been a minute since Mark finished. Several of the athletes just getting back to the barbell for their final set of 9. Lane 9, Trayton Burrish there in the off-white t-shirt, and he'll sprint to the finish. Closely followed by Judson Cole there in the blue shoes, middle of the floor. It's like only lanes 2 and 4 are still working. Nathan Vallejo and Kyle Pignatiello. All the men in Heat 1. Finish up Dirty Fran there. Heat 2 up next.
Of America, the World Fitness Project is finally here in Indianapolis. Welcome to Grand Heights Sports Campus.
If you're in the Midwest and love to watch some of the best in the world throw down in fitness, Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana, end of August, World Fitness Project Tour Stop number 2. Coming to the United States, the last stop before the finals. Love to see you guys there. Heat 2 for the men here at Monster Games on the floor for Dirty Fran. And lane 1 is going to be Vincent Ramirez. Lane 2, Jordan Bailey. Ian Cox in lane 3. Lane 4 will be empty. Petar Arvov in 5, Brandon Willis in 6, Jay Fresh in lane 7, Tyler Kluver in 8, Dylan Van Gilder in 9, and Tyler Lloyd will round out the heat in lane number 10. Vincent Ramirez currently sitting 3rd place overall, about 2 points ahead of Mark Tabaka, who we just saw throw down the top time, 3:15 thereabouts in the first heat. Vincent Ramirez looked real good on the bike and sandbag earlier today. Let's see if he can back that up. Jordan Bailey sitting in 13th overall. He's going to be looking to climb. Tyler Kluver in 14th, similar situation. Ian Cox is in 10th. Jay Fresh is in 9th. Both men looking to retain a spot in the top 10, but surely push a little bit higher would be the goal. 21.15.9 thrusters, 3.21 on the 60 feet sandbag carries with that 200-pound bag in the bear hug position. Stream is supported by Herd Athletics. Scan the QR code there. Check out all their limited stock on the latest apparel. For 15% off your order, you can use Monster Games 2026 at checkout. Awesome to have people like John and companies like Herd Athletics supporting athletes with apparel and also with live streams like this, so you guys can watch and see the work they've put in on the competition floor. For some of these athletes, it's the biggest competition they'll do all year. Heat 2 underway. Tyler Lloyd there on the right side of the screen, going to get the barbell up along with the rest of the men and start ripping away on 21 thrusters at 95 pounds to kick things off here. See if anyone in this heat can track down that 3:15 time from Mark Tabaka in the opening heat. The earlier sandbag bike workout, nobody in this heat was able to best his time. We had to wait for heat 3 for that. There's Ian Cox in the white and blue, lane 3, one of the first ones to the sandbag. Most of the men working with the sandbag there. The goal is definitely not to drop it and also to minimize the time under tension. Cox in the white and blue turning for the last time. So he'll drop it off. But he's got some company. Brandon Willis may have been, or Jay Fresh, was hard to tell, fastest with the sandbag in that opening interval. Jay Fresh there in the middle of the floor with the hand up, but he drops the bar. We haven't really seen many athletes taking breaks on this. We'll see how it works out for him. Brandon Willis on his left may end up being the first man done. Ian Cox in the mix as well. See him over there in the white and blue once again. So battle on the sandbag here. Looks like Brandon Willis is the leader, but not by much. Jay Fresh there on the right. Ian Cox is in the battle as well. And Brandon heading back to the barbell for the last 9 reps. Keep an eye on the clock up there. 2:50 currently. 3:15 from Mark Tabaka. Top time we're trying to track down. Willis has a sandbag up. Sitting in 6th place overall. It's been a good day so far for him. Checks the feet, gets him across the line. He's going to dump that bag. It won't be enough to track down Mark, but it's probably going to be the second best time we've seen. Great place to be after 2 heats of competition. Lane 9, Dylan Van Glider. Nice work there. Ian Cox coming to the line now. Looks like Jay Fresh has faded a little bit. Lane 8, Tyler Kluver is going to get in. Peter Arbov comes across, and then Jay Fresh. Jordan Bailey squatting back by the barbell over there. Wonder if something's wrong with him. Seems like expect him to be a little bit more competitive on a workout like this. Him and Vincent Ramirez step forward at the same time. That sandbag really looks like it's taking its toll on these guys and these carries. Vincent's going to be faster to get it off the ground. One down and back here, and you see how difficult that looks for Jordan, that wobble, and he's leaning too far forward. The bag's controlling him instead of the other way around. We saw Amara Wiley on the women's side. That little lean back, you want to get those hips forward and that bag a little bit higher. Jordan's going to get it across the line and beat the time cap, but just barely. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of sandbag carries at 200 pounds coming his way in his training coming up. Heat 2 finishes up Dirty Fran. Mark Tabica from Heat 1 still has the top time, 3:15. Brandon Willis took that final heat. Top men coming up next.
Of America, the World Fitness Project is finally here in Indianapolis. Welcome to Grand Heights Sports Campus.
Tickets still available for Grand Park, Indiana. If you want to watch some of the best in the world compete at WFP. However, Heart of America has partnered up with World Fitness Project this year, and they'll be on site in the same arenas. There's still spots available if you scan that QR code. Co-ed teams of 4 in scaled, intermediate, and RX. There's a couple positions left. Scan the QR code and compete in one of the Midwest's best competitions, Heart of America in Grand Park, alongside the World Fitness Project at the end of August. Third and final heat of elite men on the competition floor, and we're going to keep an eye on the bookends. Lanes 1 and 10 are the current leaders in the competition. Gabriel Townsend is in lane number 1. He's sitting just behind his buddy by a point, 1.25 points. Tyrell Brunson will be in 2, Raymond Sabat in 3, Samuel Sperlin in 4, lane 5 will be empty. EJ Hine in 6, Cooper Besikoff in 7, Ryan Jevning in 8, Aiden Boyden in 9, and Cole Caldwell, who is the overall leader in the competition by 1.25 points. Cole Caldwell in lane number 10. Cole and Gabriel both competed here last year. They were going back and forth throughout a lot of the competition. I think they're sharing an Airbnb this week. I talked to Gabriel Townsend about an hour ago, and he said we both spent a lot of time laying down horizontally after the bike and sandbag workout. It was really actually super fun finish to a workout that maybe didn't look like it would be that fun to watch on paper. Over 15 minutes of work, they ended up within 2 calories of each other. Ryan Jevning, who's in lane number 8, took 3rd in that workout. Those were the only 3 guys who were able to beat Mark Tabica's score out of heat number 1 earlier today. Mark has the time to beat at 3:15. You see there on the right side of the screen. There's Cole in that kind of lavender tank top. Aiden Boyden attacking those thrusters next to him. Keep an eye on Aiden. He struggled with the 200-pound bag earlier today on the get-overs. He was unable to complete the last round of them. Ryan Jevning will be in lane 8. He actually texted me a couple hours after the competition, said it took him about 2 hours to feel like himself again after that one, but they had about a 5-hour break. So should be well rested. They do have one workout after this later tonight, but it's only a 2-minute max set or for max reps of bar muscle ups. That's EJ Hine. It's one of the athletes I talked to today. Very good squatter, but he was concerned this might be coming down to the carry. He looks really good with the carry already here. leading the heat just narrowly. Ryan Jevning's almost running with it. See some of the pace that these guys are moving at here and who's going to be able to get back to that barbell first. Definitely more important to be fast on these carries. And it looks like it is going to be Ryan. And then EJ quicker in the transition. Cole Caldwell on the right side still with another length to go. So Ryan Jevning and EJ Hine battling for the lead here. It's like about 3 or 4 others getting back there at a similar time. And way down on the far side of the floor, Gabriel Townsend is ahead of Cole Caldwell here. Talked to him, as I mentioned, and he said he needs to get some points against Cole on this one tonight. He knows he's going to give away a little bit on the run tomorrow. EJ fast on those squats. Thrusters, one of his best movements. This guy crushes barbell cycling. But Ryan Jevning was able to track him down on the carry earlier. We'll see if that's able to happen in the second round or not. It looks like EJ's got a kind of a 30-foot lead over Ryan, who's in the black and blue right there. And those guys seemingly pulled away from this heat, which is pretty impressive. There's some good guys up and down the lanes here. Lane 4 there, Sam Sperlin. EJ Hine, final set of thrusters there. And this is going to be no problem. EJ Hine, man, when this guy's good at a workout, he's really good at a workout. He's been getting a lot of competition experience. He absolutely manhandled that bar, was definitely consistent and good enough. And he's going to have a walk-off win here. He looks at the clock and knows he's got 30 seconds to Mark's time and 30 feet over Ryan Jevning. EJ Hine, 100 points coming your way. Ryan Jevning, black and blue, is going to take second in the heat and second in the workout. That's going to be great for both of those guys. They're going to pick up some valuable points. Ryan was sitting 5th. Gabriel Townsend races across in 3, so not too many points. Exactly what he needed. That'll also beat Mark's time. We got about 8 seconds until that is going to pass. Caldwell on the right, the current leader in the competition, just picking up the sandbag. And you see that carry a lot slower than especially what we saw from Ryan Jevning. He's got some company on that bag. Cooper Besikloff in the black there looks like he's going to have to break. And Sperlin did not. Jevning looking on to see how his competitors are going to shake out. Caldwell races across. He'll get in just ahead of Sam Sperlin. And right there, what you saw, Aiden Boyden coming back with the sandbag, getting some information from his judge. Haven't seen a lot of that yet. Besikloff's going to get across the line there, about 3:45. That should still be a pretty solid result against the entire field. Just didn't look that way because EJ Hine was so bloody fast on this workout. Boyden, there we go. Love to see that after the struggles with the sandbag earlier. Much more like it. He gets in about the 4-minute mark. It's Tyrell Brunson there in lane number 2 in the bright blue t-shirt. Looks like he's the last. Oh, we've got 2 men working. He's going to have to reposition that bag right next to him. Raymond Sabat in lane 3 is on the other side of the floor. You see a sandbag on the ground. 40 seconds to the cap. Let's see if these guys can get the work done. Both of them are going to go to pick it up at the same time, heading in opposite directions. Almost like Raymond was looking at him and saying, when you go, I'll go. I'm not going to let you pass me, but Tyrell's going to have to drop it off. And Raymond Sabat's going to run to the finish line and log a score of about 4:40. See if Tyrell can get this last 30 feet done. It was definitely challenging for him. Similar to what we saw with Bailey in the previous heat, just not able to get those hips forward and under that 200-pound bag. So he's not going to be able to beat the time cap. EJ Hine crushes the time to beat. Fends off Ryan Jevning and Gabriel Townsend. Those would be your 1, 2, 3. And Mark Tabaka, another 4th place finish out of the first heat. Really looking forward to seeing him get into that top heat for tomorrow and see if he can get a couple top 3s when he can go head-to-head with the other best competitors in this field. Townsend and Caldwell, as I mentioned, good buddies, sharing the love. Dirty Fran in the books. EJ Hine and Amara Wiley, your winners. We got one more event coming up. About 7:15 local time, with 2 minutes of max bar muscle-ups to round out day 1 of competition here at Monster Games.
Champions of America, the World Fitness Project is finally here in Indianapolis. Welcome to Grand Hyatt Sports Campus.